Welcome back to the line. I am your host, Coach Manny, and in this one, we've got a special one. We're sitting down with a man who just conquered the top of his world. 2025 NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle World Champion, Richard Gadson. Now, if you follow racing, you've seen the headlines. But what we don't always get is the story behind the person. In this episode, we talked to Richard about how he got here and about the discipline that it takes when your sport is literally life and death, and it does not give you any second chances. Of course, we bring it all back to basketball, because it turns out that the things that separate champions on the track are the same things that separate elite basketball players from everybody else. Richard's story is full of lessons that every young athlete, every coach, and every parent needs to hear. So settle in. We're about to explore the mindset behind a world champion, and the type of conversation that reminds you why we started the line in the first place. So let's get into it. All right, Richard, welcome to the podcast. I'm very excited about this one. Not as excited as Gasson over here, and we'll see why. Now, look, I was looking at what you did, and the intro, I talked a little bit about it, but we talk about 6 seconds, 200 miles. Is that 200 miles an hour? Is that true?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So in drag racing, the definition of drag racing is an acceleration test between two vehicles over a covered distance. In our case, that's a quarter mile. So when you see the number pop on the board, you see 6 point whatever,
Right.
200 and something. That means that I went whatever that speed is in however many seconds that is. So to make that make sense to most people who aren't in the racing, a lot of people can associate with a 0 to 60 mile per hour rating on a car, right?
Right.
So some people say 0 to 60 in 5.1. Well, I go 0 to over 200 in 6 seconds.
That
Wow.
is insane.
Wow.
So the natural question is, how boring is it to drive a regular car in a regular street with a day to day?
That's funny. Nah, you know what, man? I always say, I always make the joke. I always say, I don't like motorcycles. I like racing. I like racing motorcycles. And I say that for something similar to what you just asked. I don't ride around on the street. I don't have a street bike. I don't even have a motorcycle license. Because
That
to
is
me, I know, right? That's crazy. To me, that's a lot more dangerous than what I do. What I do is in a controlled environment. I wear the proper protective gear. We have an ambulance sitting right there with their own area to take off to get to us. There's no trees, there's no cars, there's no potholes, there's no nothing. So I feel more safe doing that than I do driving a car on the expressway and not knowing, where my fate is in the hands of so many other people that are out there. So,
that makes
Yeah.
so
so not very
just
boring
won,
at all.
you just won the make sure I get it right.
It's the 2025 NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series Pro Stock Motorcycle
World Championship. All right, so most of our audience for now is not, I would guess they're not very familiar with NHRA. So talk to us a little bit about, first, what is NHRA? Two, this sounds like a big deal, man. Like talk to us about that moment, preparation leading up to it, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so NHRA is the world's biggest drag racing sanctioning body. It's equivalent to NBA for basketball or NFL for football. It's that for drag racing. The quickest and fastest cars in the world race that series. You guys, excuse me, I've been sick the last couple of days.
Okay.
You know how it is when you're around a bunch of family. So it's the quickest and fastest cars in the world. We got superstars like Tony Stewart, who's a household name in NASCAR, and he races in NHRA now. We have the class that I race, Pro Stock Motorcycle, is the most I would say technically advanced class in motorcycle drag racing. It's pretty much the hardest class to win at in the world. So we travel the whole country. It's not just a regional thing. A lot of drag racing sanctioned series are all regional. They're just like East Coast or Midwest or West Coast. We travel the whole country. We have competitors from across the world, not just in America. The people that race our series are from everywhere, all over the world. So that's what NHRA is. It's basically when you start racing and you go up in the ranks, like to draw a parallel to a kid that's playing high school basketball. You're growing up the whole time trying to make it to the NBA. That's the same thing with racing NHRA. The whole time your eyes are on this prize. This is the one you're trying to get after, to the point where it doesn't even really seem obtainable all the time. You really kind of like look at it as something like, I know that's what I want to do, but it's going to take a miracle to get there. Now,
Right, right.
I'll tell you, because there's so many people that you're one of millions or whatever the case may be. So the the preparation to get there, man, is a long road unless you're financially gifted enough to where you can buy your way. If you can own your own team, acquire your own stuff, which to run a top fuel car is, roughly $4 or $5 million a year to just run it. That doesn't have anything
Uh,
to do with building the car and buying the rig and all that other stuff. You're talking millions of dollars to do this. And that wasn't my situation. So the preparation to get here is a lot of grit, a lot of grind, a lot of grinding it out, and tenacity. I had to make my way what I didn't have in financial freedom. I had to make it there in just sheer talent and toughness. And
I
it's
like that
just
word,
it's
man. Tenacity. It's a
yeah,
good
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a big one. I learned that from John Madden. That's always been a word I used. But yeah, it's been a long road, man. Long process, but finally got there. I've been racing. I started racing, and I was just a kid in 2002, I believe, and I just got there in 2024. So
Wow.
that's
So
how
you
long it
you
took.
you go through your journey. This is what it is. Now you're on the bike, right there. What you guys call it? Starting point. And
The
you
starting
there, and
line, the
the
starting
starting
line.
line, and the lights about to
Online.
go
Yep.
off. What's going through your head? What's that like?
Um, what goes through my head, it depends on the situation, but what goes through my head mostly, usually, is this what I was born to do? That's what I tell myself. Because you can think about so many things. You can think about the moment. You can think about the I have to do everything right. You can think about all these things that will bring so much pressure to you that it's hard to perform under that much pressure. You make the moment too big, right?
Mm.
I don't do that to myself. I don't like, if somebody's sitting at a free throw line for the world championship, I
You don't
wouldn't think
think
about the free throw.
that.
Right, right,
I
right,
wouldn't think about the free throw. I would just tell myself, this is what I was born to do. This
Yeah.
is what I worked my whole life for. No way I'm gonna mess it up. No way. Just trust yourself. That's what I tell myself. Somebody, you ask another racer or driver, they might say something totally different, but that's what helps me get through it, is just to trust myself.
right. Now we talked about you mentioned your sponsors. When we see you on TV, you on that orange bike, and I think it's the Motul Revzilla, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, yep, yep.
I think you and Gage has uh, the best bikes on the circuit. This what I'm seeing. But I know you have some stiff competition. There's a husband and wife team that's racing against you guys on a consistent basis. I've been to some of the races with your uncle, the legendary Ricky Gadson, and just the sheer power of what you have under control. It's different than what we look at basketball, we look at football. I mean, you have the ultimate reaction time. And I think they were talking about you had a perfect light in the last. I mean, that is zeros
Wow.
across the board. Like,
Yes.
what was that? What was that feeling like to get like I'm right on time? Like I've never heard in any sport the perfect game,
Was
like
that the
the
first time
perfect
it
game.
happened to you?
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever done that.
Oh, what timing, man.
Wow.
Well, yeah, with the championship on the line.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we were both. It was me and my teammate, Gage Herrera. First of all, shout out to my sponsors. Revzilla is actually, I'm a Philadelphia native. Revzilla is a Philadelphia-based company.
Oh,
They were founded in Philadelphia by two Drexel University students.
oh wow.
Um, yeah, and their main station is still in Philly, so it's pretty
Okay.
cool to end up making it where I did out of Philly and be sponsored by a Philadelphia-based company. But
Yeah.
Revzilla, Motul, Suzuki. Motorcycles. Those are our three primary sponsors. We have a lot that make up
Right.
for our team, but those are our three primaries. But yeah, so me and Gage, we're teammates, and I would say we ride for the best team in drag racing. We Vance and Hines has been a staple
Yeah.
in the sport, and they come from a history, a lineage of champions. I was actually the only person who hasn't won a championship that's on the team. So
No pressure.
not that I
Right.
thought about that,
Right.
but
Right.
so we have really good motorcycles, man. And but not unbeatable motorcycles. We help make those bikes as good as they are with the way we ride and the way we communicate with our tuners. The Smith family, Matt and Angie Smith, are our arch rivals. I mean,
Right.
it's Eagles, Cowboys, it's
Right.
uh, it's Lakers, Celtics. It's
Right.
it's that kind of a deal.
Right.
Um, two trains on the same track going
Right.
opposite there. It's not good. But they're really good. I respect them a lot, man. You know, they're a tough team. They grind for theirs really hard. You know, and they do their own program. But yeah. So
Now,
our
correct me if I'm
last
wrong. Well, let me jump in now. They ride a different bike though, aren't they? Riding the
yeah.
Buell. I know it's the Denso Buell
Yeah, so
bikes that
we
they're running. Okay.
yep, so we run inline four-cylinder bikes. So like Suzuki, Hayabusa,
Okay.
GSXR 1000, etc. They ride a V twin, which is a Buell, but
Okay.
a V twin to more like which most people would resonate as a Harley Davidson
Gotcha.
style bike. But so two different sounds, two different tuning processes, two different platforms altogether.
Okay.
But the rules in NHRA have made parity to where those two combinations can exist.
Mm.
So me and Gage, we fight them, but once we get kind of, I'll say, past them, then we fight each other. And
Right.
that's what you saw. That perfect light in Vegas was, you know, I was looking at it as I have the points lead right now, but I'm not safe, right?
Right.
So, if you playing football and you in the fourth quarter and you got the lead, but the team you playing against is an offensive mastermind.
Right.
It's Patrick
Right.
Mahomes ready to get the ball with less than 2 minutes left,
Wasn't
right? So
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna play it safe.
Right.
I was gonna stay aggressive, and he was thinking he's basically throwing his Hail Mary because if he doesn't win that round, he knows that his championship hopes are pretty much is slim to none. So he was throwing a Hail Mary. So we both were really put on our best performance because we felt like the championship was it would be defined in that moment. So it's a lot of things like that that go into our sport, man. The mental toughness that you need to be able to perform under, you got thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the bleachers. You got sponsors. You got family at home watching TV, watching you on TV. You got
Right.
your team standing behind you on the start line. You got so many people that need you to perform right
and
now.
just you, right? Just you. Everyone's looking at you.
Just it's all on me.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
all on me in that moment. And and I live for those moments, man. That's not something I shy away from. That's something that I look for opportunities like that. To be able to be in pressure cookers like that. So that's what you saw, Fritz. That's why you saw the perfect light.
Right. Well, what as we discuss, your industry and comparing it to, like you said, the Super Bowl, the NBA, and things of that particular nature. You don't have an opportunity as a basketball player, oh, I slipped, or you know, because that slip is in seconds, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're done.
That's
You
it.
Yep.
know, and that speed. As you are you looking to go faster next season? When I say I'm talking about the sheer speed of going down that track, because I can only imagine what visually what you're looking at going down that track.
Yeah. So next season, so the way this works is our class has a set of rules that they really kind of govern how fast you go. Like NASCAR has rules to where the cars only go but so fast, right? So you
Oh,
start trying
okay.
to find other ways. They're trying to keep parity amongst everybody, even the people who don't have quite as good of a program. They're not Vance and Hines. They're trying to keep a way to keep those people competitive because if you don't have competitors
Right.
who believe they can win, nobody's spending millions of dollars and driving across the country
Right, right,
to
right.
just be free lunch, right?
Right. Right.
So they kind of do things to keep it all in check. So going into next season, my goal isn't to be faster. My goal is to be first of all, I had a hell of a season this year. So defending the championship is a whole nother ball game. That's like going
Right.
to next year. You know the bullseye on your back.
Right.
Everybody wants to beat you. You got the number one plate on the side of your bike.
Wow.
And my goal in going into next year is to be in the best physical and mental shape that I can be in, and to be able to to be able to be consistent, to be able
Mhm.
to duplicate what it is that I do that's won me so many rounds. I got to do that 100 and some odd times a year. So so basically preparation, man. Like somebody asked me yesterday, and they was like, "Well, how do you?" I had the best reaction times in the class, and they're like, "How do you pop the clutch the same every time? Like
Right.
all of my lights are within. We're talking 100th of a second. 100th. It takes you 2/10
Wow.
of a second to blink your eye. So move that decimal point over one more time.
Wow.
That's how long. That's what we're talking about." And
Wow.
everybody's like, "How are you that consistent?" Well, growing up, I was a humongous Ray Allen fan, the
Right.
biggest Ray Allen fan. And every time in every interview, anybody ever asks him how does he shoot so good, he just say he shoots that many shots. He goes to the
Right.
gym before the
Right.
game and puts up 150 jump shots. Like he just,
Yes.
how could you not do something the same over and over and over again if you do it that many times?
Right.
If you, I don't know much about basketball, but if you prepare yourself and you practice like that, or free throws, like it's just kind of like muscle memory at that point.
Right.
So,
Right.
You
Right.
might,
so
you
I,
might, you might be able to book some motivational, talking or something. Because
that's-
you're saying, man, you're hitting all the stuff we talk about all the time. Like, and
yeah,
I'll get
now
into a little bit, but as you're describing what you go through, I don't know about you, G, but I've already drawn like 7 different things that are the same with basketball. Like it's
yeah,
Yeah.
the same type of mental
got a
game.
call.
You
It works
good.
for
You
me.
good.
Let me make sure my phone's on do not disturb. It is.
Yeah.
It works for me because I've always been a big basketball and sports fan. So, and I've not only been a fan of the game itself. I watch their interviews. I listen to. You can draw so many parallels from so many people, even if they don't do what you do.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can just learn some of the mental side of things from so many people. I watch. I don't just watch the football game. I watch the post game. See how somebody deals with defeat. See how
Right.
they what they when they got to face the world after they just messed up. See what they say. See what they think. That's
Mhm.
all the stuff that I think these are some of my advantages. I think I'm not just that much more talented than everybody riding the motorcycle. I'm racing against a bunch of other people who are also the best in the world. I
Right.
think that it's the mental side that separates the men from the boys.
Yeah. Now, NHRA, it seems to be a global. Drag race is a global sport. We've seen, we've seen highlights from Austria. And talking to Ricky, he's traveled the globe racing, and the sheer magnitude of what you've accomplished in this sport is, like as you said, is equivalent to, hey, I just won the Super Bowl. I just hit that bottom of the ninth inning, 2 guys on base. I just hit that home run. I'm out of the park.
That's exactly.
Hey, I'm good. But the major difference is you have this machine under your control. And I always wondered, I watch you as you're doing your burnouts, and I'm like, man, how do you control this machine, this monster of a machine? And like you said, how much do you weigh, Richard? What's your weight?
I'm about 145 pounds.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What's the weight of the bike?
So the motorcycle by itself is about 420 pounds ish, but one of those rules that I told you about that they use to govern
Yeah.
how fast you go
Yeah.
is total package. So the motorcycle and the rider has to weigh 660 pounds.
At
So
least, or does it have to be?
at least that's the minimum.
Yes. Yes.
So
Right. Right.
anything under 660 pounds, you disqualified.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
660. So we played a game of literally. I mean, I was talking to my crew chief the other day. From the first race this season to the last race this season, they almost don't care what I weigh so much. You got to be small. You need to be under 155
Right.
pounds, under 160 pounds. But he didn't care. He's like, I don't want you losing weight. And then you come to one race 130 pounds. Then you come to the next race 140 pounds. I need you to be consistent. So from the first race of the year to the last race, from March to November, I fluctuated 2 pounds. That's it, the whole
Oh,
year. And that's not by accident. That's by design. The week of so consistency is a big part of this. You know, your diet, your preparation. I think all those things lead. Those are the things that happen before you get on the machine. That's
right,
before you
right.
even. That's before you ever put your helmet on. I think all of that stuff makes a champion as well because some of my competitors, I watch them. You know, I see him come to race. And I'm like, he's out of shape.
Yeah.
He out of shape. He's not ready. He's not
Right,
ready for this weekend.
right,
That don't mean you can't win, but that
right.
means it's going to be way harder for you than it is for me.
Yeah.
And I'm prepared and
Wow.
I'm consistent. So
Right.
if you want to make it that much harder for yourself, have at it.
Has there ever been a time where you said, "I'm going too fast"? Like even in a practice run or something like. Have you ever said, "Man, I'm whoa, you know, am I going too fast right now?"
Yeah, I've done. I rode a motorcycle that before I raced in NHRA, and it actually it was until this year. I set a record in 2019 as the quickest and fastest nitrous no wheelie bar bike in the world. I went 6.40 seconds at 221 mile an hour. And
Woo!
that particular motorcycle doesn't have a fairing in the front. So a fairing is
Right.
what you see as the front nose that has the windshield that goes over your head and the body work that pushes. All that does is it pushes the wind around you. Well, this bike didn't have a front fairing, so 220 mile an hour with the wind going straight in your face, your chest, is trying to blow you off the back of the motorcycle.
Oh my
And
God.
yes, you're physically holding on like with all your strength. And
Is that one of those moments when you're done, you get off the bike and you put your hands around your waist, like, what just happened? What am I doing here?
that's exactly what it is. When you get off the bike, I used to always tell the guy that I rode for, I said, man, when I'm racing the bike, I can't wait for the finish line to get up so I can get off the throttle. I just
Get
want to
off the
slow
bike,
down.
man.
Yeah, I just want to get off the bike. And yeah, so I actually quit riding that bike when I had my daughter. I said, you know what, man, what I do is dangerous enough. Um,
Right.
I don't want to push my luck anymore. And I had decided that was a little bit too fast. Not that I wouldn't run those speeds. I'm comfortable at 220, 230 mile an hour. It's the fact that I was doing it on something with no fairing. So I would do it again if I had a different bike.
Yeah, so I got one more question for you. You mentioned your path to the top wasn't what as smooth as it may be for some folks, for some people. So if you can put yourself in the shoes of a middle school, high school player trying to make it to the next level, you could talk about a little bit about a moment in which you felt the pressure and you were like, maybe this is not for me, and then what happened that made you keep going, and then how's that moment when you make it and you realize, all right, I made a good decision back then.
Yeah. I think what's important to know about that journey is that mine wasn't like, like it wasn't squeaky clean, right? Like it wasn't like I was like this perfect human being that made all the right decisions my whole life and that wasn't my story. I made a lot of mistakes and I really screwed up. And that low moment was I remember being at a racetrack feeling like, man, I destroyed my reputation. Like I've destroyed like everybody that's here probably looks at me based on what they hear about me and these rumors. Like sure I could ride a motorcycle, but what about who he is off the racetrack? And that was probably that was harder to overcome than any race itself. So I think what I would say to somebody is that it doesn't have to be easy. You don't have to be perfect. We all human beings. What all you got to do is do the next right thing. That's a term that
Mhm.
somebody told me. They said, "Listen, man, you can't change the past. You can't fix none of it. You can fix it, but you can't change what people think about you. The only thing you can do is the next opportunity you get to do the right thing. Just do the next right thing, and you just keep doing the next right thing. And after a while, people remember you more for that. I don't even hear anybody mention my past
Cool.
anymore.
Cool.
That
Cool.
sounds like
I got
next level mentality, guys. Don't you think?
Yep. Yeah. So the team that I race for, they only hire people that are upper echelon. Like their hiring process is worse than Chick-fil-A's. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never seen a bad Chick-fil-A employee, right?
Right.
Never.
That's true.
This team that I'm with, it picks the pick of the litter, the cream of the crop, the pool of thousands. They pick one.
Yeah.
Well, in
Right.
our case right now, they pick two. And so for me to be in that position with my storied you know I would say journey up until this point just shows that that's really a true thing. You know, like, I mean, I got tattoos all over my arms, and I'm from Philly, and you know, all the stereotypes that people would think, oh, they won't hire you, they won't hire him.
Right.
That's not the truth. You know what I mean? So do the next right thing, man, and that's all you can do. Don't look back. Don't let it bog you down. Don't lose your confidence. Just do the next right thing. That's all you can do. Pick your chin up and do the next right thing. And just and as long as you push forward that way, it'll work its way out. It'll work itself out.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, no, Revzilla, Motul, Vance and Hines, Suzuki Motorcycles. All you guys out there that's watching this, if you are just if you're a rider and you ride on the street or you're just getting into it, Revzilla is the biggest online retailer of motorcycle parts and gear in the world. They're our primary sponsor. Go check out their website. And if you ever come to a racetrack at our trailer, stop by. We have 15% off coupons. I always say make it count, man. It's 15% off whatever you order. So
That's right.
15% off, 15% off of $20 ain't that much. But if you wait until you need a helmet, you know, and you spend a few $100s, 15% off is it carries you a lot further.
Exactly.
So stop by, grab those. We get the QR code. We like to make that count. But check out Revzilla's website. It works really good. And then Ace, I'm on a podcast. My nephew just walked in. Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all.
Cool.
Um,
Cool.
the Motul oil is high performance lubricants, motor oil, cleaning supplies, coolants, all kind of different stuff. You also have Suzuki. Suzuki Hayabusa is the particular bike of choice for us in the GSX-R 1000, but they offer a wide range of motorcycles. Check them out as well if you're looking to buy a motorcycle. So that's pretty much our main ones, and I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to do that.
And that's another episode of The Line. If you got value from this, like it, share it, and hit subscribe. We're building a real community here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay locked in. Stay within the line. Until next time.